Aboriginal TV, Channel 4, putting Aboriginal news first.
Today marks 28 days since our last coronavirus patient recovered. That means today, the Northern Territory has officially eradicated the coronavirus. The first and only place in Australia to do so, the safest place in Australia without question. A lot of people can take credit for that. Our incredible frontline healthcare workers, our police working round the clock on the borders and on our streets, business owners and workers who had to sacrifice so much to protect others, our environmental health officers working with businesses to stay safe, our teachers who made sure Territory kids stay safe, stay smart and live as normal a life as possible during a pandemic, public servants doing everything they can to keep people safe, in work and informed. All Territorians for doing the right thing, for staying safe and for seeing this through. Legends, all of you. The most effective weapon in our arsenal has been our hard borders. Our decision to act early and secure the borders kept out the spread of coronavirus, and that meant the Territory could safely open back up before anywhere else to save more jobs. Businesses opened first in the Territory, people went back to work first in the Territory. Sport restarted first in the Territory. Kids kept going to school in the Territory. That's what happened because of our hard borders. Territorians didn't die. Everywhere else, people died. Not here, not in the Territory. The worst case predictions had 2,000 Territorians being killed by coronavirus. It had us needing hundreds of ICU beds that do not exist. It's why we had to prepare more body bags just in case the nightmare scenario became real. But it didn't. We avoided the nightmare. We said we would do whatever it takes to keep Territorians safe, and we did. We acted early, we went full bore at it, it worked, and now we can make the next big call. For the past month, I've been telling Territorians what needed to happen before we could make a decision on easing our hard border restrictions. We needed to safely reopen the Territory economy, our 3 stages of the new normal, and we have done that. We needed to transition from monitored quarantine to self-quarantine, and we are doing that. And we needed to be confident that the active cases of coronavirus in other parts of Australia will continue to fall and community transmission will continue to be low. Crucial to this was waiting to see if the mass gatherings down south a few weekends ago led to outbreaks. Yesterday, the Security and Emergency Management Subcommittee of Cabinet met to consider the latest evidence of transmission and to finalise logistics for reopening our borders. Now that 10 days since those events have passed, this morning I met again with the Chief Health Officer. He has provided me with the final advice that 10 days after the mass gatherings, community transmission down south is now tracking at an acceptable risk level. The Northern Territory will keep its mandatory quarantine arrangements in place for all states and territories until 12:01 a.m. on Friday the 17th of July. From that date, arrivals will not have to self-quarantine for 14 days before enjoying the Territory. That gives the rest of Australia 4 weeks' notice, and it gives Territorians 4 more weeks to get ready. It gives businesses time to prepare and time for us to market the Territory to visitors. But it also gives us time to lock in the gains that we've made and be absolutely certain that we aren't putting our progress at risk. It's only been 3 days since we took the first step in relaxing our quarantine arrangements. Dr. Heggie's advice, based on the evidence, recommends a 28-day assessment period, 2 replication cycles before making this major change. We need that time to be absolutely certain that self-quarantine is safe before we move to no quarantine. This is making decisions based on evidence. If you ever want to know where I stand, it's right here in front of Territorians putting your lives first. This period also gives the rest of Australia the time they need to keep making progress, to keep crushing corona over the next month, as I am confident they will, before we let them come in. The most important reason is this: to simply get it right. Do it once, do it right, keep it simple, keep it certain. And I want to be really clear. This change is for interstate arrivals only. Nothing changes for international arrivals. They will continue to be enforced quarantine. A lot of you have told me you are worried about doing this. Probably the most common thing I am told by people is this: I know we need to open the borders eventually, but what if it goes wrong? I want to assure you that we are doing absolutely everything, whatever it takes, to do this in a way that continues to protect you and the people you love. I will always put Territorians first. That's why we have that 4-week break. That's the most important caution, but we are doing more. Our police and ADF will continue to stay on our borders and be at all arrival ports for 2 weeks after the quarantine arrangements end. For this period, people will still complete an arrival form telling us where they have come from and where they intend to stay. This gives us an extra layer of protection for additional replication cycle, so we know where people are if we need to find them. We have conducted more than 10,000 tests so far, and we will keep testing as many people, including interstate arrivals, whenever and wherever it is needed. Our test, trace and trap regime is fully operational to make sure that if there is a new case in the Territory, it will not be allowed to spread. We will stand up a dedicated rapid response team to manage any outbreak in any community. The team will have doctors, nurses, pathology staff, contact tracers and logistics specialists supported by the police as needed. If there is ever an outbreak in the NT, this team will be on the ground straight away and the community will be quarantined while the situation is assessed and controlled. We are also keeping the Public Health Emergency Declaration in place. This ensures we can enact new measures as needed to keep Territorians safe and to stop any actions that put Territorians at risk. And as always, we will do everything possible to keep our remote communities safe in partnership with land councils and residents. This will include ensuring government workers who choose to leave communities are aware of any coronavirus hotspots if they develop in other states. Workers will be required to declare if they intend to visit a hotspot area, if there are any, and measures can be put in place as needed to ensure there is no risk to communities on their return. We will spend the next 4 weeks working with land councils and our Aboriginal health groups to get these plans right. I know July 17 is too far away for some people. What I've learned in the last few weeks is that everyone has an opinion on when to open the borders. I've been told to never open the borders. I've been told to open them in 2 months, 2 weeks, tomorrow and yesterday. I know I can't make everyone happy, but I can keep people safe and alive. That is why I am listening to the expert medical advice like I have always done. This is a Territory lives come first decision. I will not take any extra chances with this transition. We need the 2 replication cycles I've spoken about. We will do it once, all our borders, all jurisdictions, and we will do it right. To all Territorians who have the time and the means of the next 4 weeks, especially in the school holidays, do me a favour, do yourself a favour, do the right thing by Territorians and help out our tourism operators and our hospo workers. Take a holiday in the Territory. Get in early, grab your Territory tourism voucher, don't miss out. Take rec leave, holiday in the NT, do it now. Get your voucher, go to Kakadu, go to Alice, hop on a fishing charter, something, anything that gets you and your family out in the Territory and backing Territory jobs. As your TIEF, I am saying party in the Territory and do it now. This is our plan, to make the Territory the comeback capital while keeping the Territory the safest place in Australia. But please remember, the person who can best keep you safe is you. Even with our hard borders, Territorians have always been the front line. We've been the safest place in Australia because you have been the best, and that's how it has to stay. Next month, there'll be more responsibility on you to keep doing these things. Keep your distance when you can. Wash your hands, and if you feel sick, stay home and get tested. Stay smart, stay safe. You keep doing that, and I'll keep doing whatever it takes to keep the Territory safe and strong. Thank you.
Aboriginal TV, Channel 4. Putting Aboriginal news first.